Today's story is titled Larry Gets Lost in Seattle. It's written by John Skewes and Robert Schwartz and illustrated by John Skewes. Share a story. What is the story about? It's about Larry the dog and Pete the boy. Pete's dog Larry gets lost in Seattle. Wow, do you know where Seattle is? This is a map of the United States of America. Where is Seattle? Seattle's right here. Seattle's far away from us. We live all the way over here in Massachusetts. To get to Seattle, we would have to take an airplane, and it would be a long time, probably like 6 to 7 hours. I'm not sure. I've never been there. So it's far away. Here's a map of Seattle. There's all different things. And here's kind of like our key. It tells us where everything is. So it tells us number 1 is Washington State Ferries. Can you find the number 1? It's right here. Good. So that's number 1. Oh, number 2 is right next to it. Let's see what that is. It's the Pioneer Square. So there's all different things in Seattle. This is Larry. This is Pete. They ride together in the back seat. Because their car wouldn't float, they drove their car onto a boat. Ooh. So this boat is called a ferry, and you can put people on it, and you can even put cars on it to travel across water. Mom and Dad, Pete and Larry, crossed the water on a ferry. Soon, a city was very near. The ferry boat docked beside a pier. So they floated across the water, and now they're at the pier. Pioneer Square was their very first stop, a real fun place to eat and shop. Just then, Larry saw a treat. He quickly bounded up the street. But after running several feet, he realized that he lost Pete. Do we find out what the problem of the story is yet? We did. Our problem is that Larry lost Pete. Oh no. What do you think Larry's gonna do? He lost Pete. What do you think he's gonna do? Make a prediction. All right, let's see. He searched Seattle's underground, but the friend he searched for was not around. He asked a giant if he'd seen Pete that day, but the giant said nothing. He just hammered away. He ran past the stadium where football teams meet to the baseball field right across the street. He saw some salmon passing by, not in the water, but in the sky. So where's Larry on this page? At a market. Good. Do you know exactly where they are at the market, though? They're at the Public Market Center. How would we know where he is if we can't see a map right now? Do you guys see this? It's a street sign. So the street sign shows that he's on First Ave and Pike Street, probably at a corner, because that's where 2 streets meet. Over his head, a silver train raced towards a saucer that seemed to be from outer space. Right there, it's called the Space Needle. Even stranger, the bright colored building next door looked just like a pile of clothes on the floor. Not finding his friend was troubling Larry. In fact, things around him were getting quite scary. He saw some people waiting by the street, but something told him they couldn't help him find Pete. Larry then ran through a strange little town, built on the water instead of the ground. Then a big fat creature blocked Larry's way. Nothing Larry did could make him go away. Oh, look at the seal. So Larry's right here. Do you see Pete? He's right there. Good. They're on this page a few times, I think, to show you that they came. So Larry ran across here and up. Oh, if he kept going, you would have saw Pete, right? They must have went different ways. Uh-oh. How do you think Pete's feeling right now? Maybe he's sad. He can't find his dog. Maybe he's nervous. With a running start, Larry leaped, landing on a boat where a sea captain slept. The captain laughed and picked Larry up. "Is that your owner, you lost pup?" Larry was so excited. He and Pete were reunited. The captain called Pete's dad on the phone. "Don't worry, Larry. You'll be home soon." So Pete tries to find Larry, does he? No, he doesn't. Who solves the problem? Who found Larry? The boat captain. Good. They passed through a gate, and a moment later, the water dropped like an elevator. Larry's family was soon within reach. They agreed to meet at Alki Beach. They fell asleep as their car drove away. It had been quite an unforgettable day. So these are real pictures of things in Seattle. Pioneer Square, Scary, Fish Market, football stadium, the Space Needle, a cool building, the beach, and the ferry. And it looks like they're kind of dreaming of all these different things they saw. Seattle map. So here's the map again. So right here is where Larry starts. Number 1, at the Washington State Ferries. And then he goes to number 2, Pioneer Square. And then 3, the Underground Tour, which is where he saw the Hammering Man. So he went underground and saw the Hammering Man right here. He stands 48 feet tall. He hammers from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day, except for on Labor Day. Then let's follow the map down. He went to number 5, which is the Quest Field and Safeco Field. That must be where the football and the baseball field players play. He went over here to number 6, which is Pike Place Market. And then number 7, he saw the Space Needle. There's even a restaurant at the top of the Space Needle that slowly spins around and around. So you go all the way around it as you're sitting there eating. Imagine that. Miss Sullivan actually has a friend who used to live in Seattle, and she's been to that restaurant before. She said it was very cool. Then he went to number 8, Experience Music Project. Okay, number 9 is called the Fremont Troll. He lives under a real bridge and he's holding a real car. So that must have been what he thought was scary. And number 10, Waiting for the Intraban. I may be pronouncing that wrong. These statues have been waiting for the bus since 1979. People like to dress them up in different clothes. Oh, that's interesting. I want to learn more about that. So it's statues that stand at a bus station. All right, so we went 9, 10, 11 is the Lake Union houseboats. And then he went to number 12, which is the Bollard Locks. The locks are a big gate that allow boats to go from the lake to the ocean without letting water out. Oh, so that's why he said the water went down kind of like an elevator. And then they went to number 13, which is where Larry finishes, which is Alki Beach. And then number 14, they must not have gone here, but it's on the map still. It's Smith Tower. So what I want to know is if I had this worksheet, it says, you know when you retell a story, you use words like first, then, next, last. Okay, so first, Larry went to, where did Larry go first? So first, Larry starts here. First, they were at the ferries. And then what happened there? He got lost, right? Then Larry went to, where'd he go next? After number 1, he went to number 2. Good. Then he went to Pioneer Square. Good. So if I was to fill this in and retell the story, I could use this map to help me, and I could use words like first, then I could even keep going and say next, and then I could say last, where they ended up last.